Well, I'm just really impressed by the rapid progress being made in backside illuminated CMOS image sensors. I think it's tremendously exciting. Well, we've started to see the BSI CMOS going out of the lab and into the high production fab, and you can now go buy it in iPhones, and you can buy it in little digital still cameras, and it's really having quite an impact, I believe, in the consumer area. Well, certainly the smartphones have been a huge driver of volume in the imaging business. And they initially had a single camera. Now a lot of them have two cameras. And then additionally, I think we're just now beginning to scratch the surface of what tablets can do. And it's sort of my feeling that because of the nicer display and larger display on the tablets, they may further accelerate that trend.
Well, definitely one thing that we see is that backside imaging is becoming a commodity. We see it entering now not only in backside images for mobile applications and getting into camcorders. So I think we're really going to see it more in professional applications also. And the other thing that is clear is that there's also definitely a shift from focus on mobile imaging also to automotive imaging and 3D imaging for gaming, for instance.
Everybody thinks now that the BSI is the holy grail. Yes, BSI can be the holy grail for the small pixels, the 1 micron, the 2 micron. But for me, in the broadcast field, where I do 5 micron pixels, BSI only give me problems instead that they solve things. And I think that BSI is one of the major changes in the mass volume industry.
3D imaging has two aspects. One is for gaming, where I think the business model is similar to what we have for mobile imaging. Interesting for 3D is also automotive imaging, and there the environmental temperature requirements are very, very high, the quality requirements are high, so I think there will be quite still some work to be done to meet the stringent requirements of automotive manufacturers to have 3D images accepted widely in this application. There are definitely opportunities, but there's still some work to be done there, I think.
We may see legislation coming in the US and Europe, which means that people will have to have more cameras, have to have cameras in cars for security or safety aspects. The megapixel race, which has been going on for a number of years, perhaps is slowing down slightly now in the mobile market, but the pressure is still on in performance, and we see that whereas pixel sizes today are, say, 1.4 micron, 1.75 micron, there's pressure there to continually improve the performance at that level.
Imaging and photography used to be a very sort of siloed vertical market where there was some camera vendors and some film vendors, and then there was their suppliers, and that was it. And now the market is much more horizontal. So now there's cameras in everything. So instead of having this sort of siloed industry, we now have a situation where it just permeates. I mean, there's almost no limit to what the opportunities are, and I think that's the great thing about being here and being in this market.
We're starting to see some interesting things going on with multi-aperture imaging, computational imaging, 3D, as you had mentioned. So I think there's a lot of very interesting applications out there. We're starting to see near IR being used for automotive and security applications, and so again, there just seems to be a very large field for people to play in. The question's going to be, which ones are going to be the big killer apps, and where's the next $1 billion going to be made? I really look forward to seeing what happens with this technology over the next 3 to 5 years.
The technical content of the conference is a good mix of technical papers on different fields, it shows some achievement, but also some directions. And on top of that, there's ample time for like networking and social contact. Because at all conferences, you often learn more in the informal discussions than you hear in the paper section. And this, with the breaks and the lunches provided, it's a nice way to network and have all these contacts during the conference outside the session area.
Yeah, I'd recommend it for technical managers, marketeers, but also sensor customers. I think they'd get something out of this conference.
I've enjoyed all of the papers today. It's been a lot of fun being here, getting a chance to meet people names I've seen over the years, but I've never had the pleasure to meet. So it's been great. I would highly recommend it to people in the future.